My understanding is that a lot of the situation in Afghanistan comes down to the Taliban was given a massive amount of weapons, probably by the Russians, actually, definitely by the Russians, because what happened is during the Cold War, the United States gave weapons to probably the Taliban also. We gave a bunch of AK 47s and stuff like that to freedom fighters in Afghanistan who were fighting against the Russians because Russia invaded Afghanistan. And a lot of people believe that the reason that Russia lost the Cold War, if you can lose a Cold War, but the reason that their economy got so screwed up is because they overextended their military by fighting in Russia or fighting in Afghanistan. Because they invaded Afghanistan, and they weren't the only country that's invaded Afghanistan and failed. And so my guess is that what happened is that the Russians knew that during the Cold War, I'm pretty sure it was like Reagan or some crap, gave weapons to the Taliban. And so they thought, well, maybe we should give weapons to the Taliban now to help the Taliban murder American soldiers because the um, the Russian military has been active not just in Afghanistan but also in the Middle East, like in Syria, and they've even gotten into skirmishes with our military over oil fields. All right, so yeah, we killed a bunch of Russian soldiers. If you guys didn't hear about that, and that was in Syria. So the Russians wanted to give a bunch of weapons to the Taliban because they were like, "This is good," and now these religious nuts are using those weapons to oppress the less religious nuts. But fortunately for Afghanistan, is a lot of their country is religious nuts. Just like I said, the Middle East, like there's nothing better you can be than a guy that has a knot on his head. Like I'm talking about a bruise on your head because you pray and like you'll like press your face into the cement, or sometimes people put rocks to like give themselves a freaking horn on their head to prove that they pray so much, and you get respect if you pray that much. Dude, that guy's got a serious horn on his head. He looks like a rhino. Man, he must really know Allah. So when you're talking about like why the Taliban has such an easy time taking over Afghanistan, it's because the people revere religious nuts, and the people revere women that have a hijab on, and the people revere if you've got a burqa. Oh man, she's. I wish I was as good as her. If only I had a burqa or a niqab, whatever you want to call it. So that's kind of the world that we live in nowadays. Is like show off your religion and you're a good person. But the reality is, showing off your religion doesn't mean you're a good person. At least according to the Christian religion. According to the Christian religion, showing off your religion is a very bad thing. And Jesus was the type of person that got into skirmishes or got into like very strong verbal altercations in public with religious leaders over them being showy and being like in Christianity we would say you're being a Pharisee, but a Pharisee is actually a form of Jew. A Jewish person is just a belief system in the Jewish on the Jewish side because there are different types of Jews. Anyways, so all I'm saying is I'm pretty sure that Afghanistan right now is not just Joe Biden's fault; it's Russia's fault, and so like this oppression that's going to go on, like where the Afghani or I don't know what you call them, the Afghanis, are going to be oppressed by this super religious nut group, is the result of the Russian military giving them weapons. But let's face it, how many nukes does Russia have? Enough that I'd rather just put Russia on my team, even if like that involves putting Vladimir Putin on my team. But let's face it, once Benjamin Netanyahu stopped being prime minister, it was a lot easier to put Israel on my team. So it'd be nice if Russia got rid of Vladimir Putin and said, hey, I would prefer to be on your side because it's just stupid to not be on your side.